They say cycling gets in your blood and you get an extra head start when it's also in your dad's genes. No wonder our first guest went on to Commonwealth, Olympic and World Championship success. So welcome back to Shane Perkins. Hello.
Welcome, mate.
Thanks for having me back.
Just been having a hit out in Adelaide, just brushing up on your training before you head overseas again.
Yeah.
What were you getting up to?
Yeah, we had some racing in Adelaide at the Adelaide GP. So we had three races in 5 days. I actually pulled out of the Kieran knowing that I had 0 points because I haven't raced since the Olympics for the new UCI system that's coming up.
Right.
So I chose just to do the sprint, and I had some good success there, 2 wins and a second. So now I'm right to go for the World Cup season with my points.
How did your shoulder hold up?
Yeah, it was good. Look, yeah, as I said, I haven't raced since the Games and had surgery in between that. So, it was quite difficult getting ready for this. More so in my head because I didn't know how I was going to go and how my body was going to pull up. But look, I was really happy with my form and it can only go up from here.
Now, we spoke about this last time. You're about to head to Japan again. I think it's as soon as Monday, right? For this Kieran camp. And now take us through all the tough stuff you've got to do.
It's actually called Kokusai Kirin, which means International Kirin. But I'm heading back there on Monday to finish out my contract through to the end of September. We're heading back over there. I've got 5 more races left to do.
Now, explain how the Kieran works there. It's slightly different to the international rules, right?
Yeah, look, internationally we have 6 riders in the Kieran, as opposed to 9 riders in Japanese Kieran. And basically, it's like an international Kieran where you all start off at the gun. You follow the pacer. The pacer lets you off with about 1.5 laps to go, and everyone kind of goes crazy from there. But obviously in Japan, they all wear pads, big helmets, things like that. So they are actually allowed to block you. So headbutts, use their body. The bikes get a bit shaky from time to time. So it's quite difficult to come from the back because they spot you out and give you a little flick. And although it might sound funny because of the betting, there is actually lines or teaming up, I guess you'd call it, but where you might have a Sanko rider, which is a rider that might sprint for 700 metres. Then what follows them is a Makuri rider, which sprints for about 300 to 400 metres. Then you have a Oikumi rider, which sprints for about 70 metres. Now, they'll get in a line and basically help each other and yell to the front rider to say there's riders coming behind them. So it's funny how that works, obviously in a betting sport, but that's just how it's always been done over there.
So punters, do they know that this is happening? Do they know people have different roles and
yeah, they do.
bet accordingly?
As an example, a lot of the international riders are quite strong racers in Japan, so you'll get a lot of the Japanese riders following us, and the bettors will know that if we go for a long sprint, there's a fair chance that those riders following us are going to get over us for the win, and we'll either run second or third, which happens a high percentage of the time. So it actually adds to obviously the punters.
But when's final bet? When the gun goes? When it starts?
It's 5 minutes. It finishes 5 minutes before the start of the race for us. So we can actually, when we're sitting there before the race in the little room, we're not allowed to hop on our bikes or anything like that 40 minutes before. You just have to go out and do a presentation lap about 20 minutes before the start. So the punters can see the lines that you're going to be in, like I was talking about before, and where you might sit on the track when you make your sprint. Then we'll go in, sit down, the bets will finish 5 minutes before, we'll get ready to go out. But you can actually see all the bets on the TV before you go
being
out.
a racehorse.
So it's like looking at who's got the shiniest coat.
Look, they ask all that stuff. What blood type are you? All that sort of stuff. What year you're born in?
Really?
What star sign you are? All those sorts of things.
Fantastic.
What a niche way to race. And what sort of money changes hands? Is it tens of millions on these sort of nights?
Yeah, look, for us as internationals, the Japanese Cycling Union will only let us do sort of the most average races over there. So the most races, or the ones that have done the most over there, so the F1 races, we're allowed to race those. But the races above that, you've got G1, G2, G3 and Grand Prix. So a G1 race is probably about 40 to 50 million yen to win, so about $500,000.
Wow.
And then the biggest race of the year is the Grand Prix that's held on the 30th of December every year. It's the top 9 riders. That's $1 million US to win.
Wow.
So we're not allowed to get into that, but I'm hoping that maybe I can speak Japanese one day and get a full-time licence.
Yeah.
And with the Tour de France, have you been watching some of these messy, chaotic sprint finishes? What have you learned, or what could you teach those guys, do you think?
I think a lot of them do well in Japan, especially Cav. He drops the shoulder in and stuff like that, as we saw. But it's quite exciting watching the tour. I'm really, really enjoying it.
What do you think of Kittel?
Yeah, look, I think he's. I'd like to say sneaky, but I think he's just really crafty. Like he follows the right wheels and he makes his sprint at the perfect times, as we've seen.
Yeah.
Like he's might not be the fastest out there, but he's definitely putting himself in really good positions for the sprint.
Exactly.
On a side note, could some of those fast guys, your Kittles, your Greipels, make a transition back to track for something like that, or are they just a bit too rough around the edges for your specific kind of sprinting?
Yeah, I think it's hard. Like I'm sure if they put some time on the track, they'd be able to get pretty fast on there. But I think it's like Usain Bolt. Saying to him, mate, do you want to jump in and do it? Yeah, do like an 800 or a 5K or something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty difficult for him to do that, and vice versa. So.
Yeah.
Right, we wish you all the best over there. Don't forget, it's wasabi, not avocado. Don't take a big spoonful. And we've got some goodies for you before you leave.
Oh, beautiful.
mate.
Thanks very much for
Duty-free.
having us. Oh, fantastic.
And Perko, by the way, we've got the rollers coming up, so you'll be doing some rollers work in Japan as your warm-ups, right? You can't do anything in front of the crowd. So will you stick around and motivate these guys that are coming up?
Yeah, definitely look forward to it.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. Lovely
Thanks,
to see
guys.
you again. Have a great trip too.